I must finish up, but there's one final and very important point. The way people are arguing for euthanasia, they say it'll be, what we want is voluntary euthanasia. So that the only people who will suffer from mercy killing are people who have asked for it or have chosen for it. Now, whatever happens, that's not going to be possible. It's not going to be possible to limit it to that. If voluntary euthanasia is legalised, many, perhaps most of those people euthanised will be involuntary, killed without their permission and sometimes against their will. And once again, there'll be enormous financial pressures to move in that direction. See, with the fall in the birth rate, there's going to be more of us oldies and a diminished number of workers and taxpayers, and so the financial pressures on the productive elements in society are going to be quite considerable. One way of solving that is to euthanize the old people. And as sure as winter follows autumn, that is the way it will go, and that's the way we've seen it go in places like Holland and Belgium. In the Netherlands, the stats show that more than 50% of Dutch doctors feel free to suggest euthanasia to their patients, and 25% of these doctors admit to ending patients' lives without their consent. And in 2005, according to the official statistics, which would almost certainly be underreported, 205 people were euthanised in the Netherlands. Similar situation in Belgium, where doctors alone are supposed to perform that euthanasia, but in a significant percentage of cases that it's done by nurses. So this is, I think we have copies of my pastoral statement here for you to have a look at. It's explained a little bit more coherently and cogently in a little bit better ordered way than the way in which I've spoken this morning. But it is an important topic. It does give you a very important task. I think it is part of our Christian vocation to maintain these truths and explain them. Many of the bases of Australian life go back to Christianity. The Australian concept of a fair go for everyone is really not understandable without Christianity. You go back to ancient Rome, 40% of the citizens of Rome were slaves. 40%. Women had almost no civic rights. Infanticide as well as abortion was practiced, especially the infanticide of young girls. Men fought one another to the death in the amphitheatres for entertainment, fought animals to the death for entertainment. There were women gladiators who fought animals to the death. In sexual life, anything went. For many, the only important factor was who was in control, who was the power figure. This world is entirely different from ours. So many of the good things in our society, like respect for life, will only be maintained if the Catholic community, like ourselves, remembers who we are, practices what we preach, and are able to explain this to the rest of society. May God bless you all.
Thank you, Your Eminence, for your words of wisdom. You know, friends, one of my favorite speeches is this, the invitation that we sent out to you for this program. We have the Holy Father and the Cardinal and our Bishop. When I look at the height of our Cardinal and just behind the Holy Father, I thought to myself, our Pope is really safe here in Sydney. And I echo that same thought to the efforts that he puts in to protect life. I really wonder what will be our conditions here in Australia if we were not to make that journey to protect life. We feel safe. The church is safe in his hands. And also the humanity is safe. Now it's our turn. He has given us a great challenge. Do something that whatever that he is doing.